couple of more days because of that ultimate symbol of dirt, filth, and disorder, the subway. That is pretty funny. I mean, that's pretty poetic. Because I noticed people didn't laugh enough for me to say it was funny, so I said, it is poetic. But wasn't it great how slow I was? And I sounded like I really had control of my language. I felt very good about that, so I was a little out of the moment. That didn't help either, but I was just like, wow, all the nonsense I've heard this past year, this is the anniversary, as you know, of people saying he stutters, he doesn't speak, he talks too fast. You know, it all went by the wayside in that little sentence. Now, I was watching the news, Pat Robertson was on, talking about Andy Rooney's comments about Jesus, and Pat goes, you don't talk like that about the Almighty and get away with it. I felt good, because that's the God I remember. The God that was forgiving on some things, but when you crossed him, it was on, you know? Then I switch around. Here's Pat Buchanan talking about the Passion of Christ with Jonathan Foreman, a film critic, Evander Holyfield, Kurt Warner, the Rams quarterback, and John Smoltz, the pitcher from the Braves. You know, I don't know if it was a reality show. I'm not sure what it was, but well, what do they think? They can put on a show with a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about? I mean, we do it, but still, I don't think still no. But my favorite story I saw in the news in Florida, Beyonce's road crew stopped a carjacking. How do you think that guy feels? You know, he's carjacking, something on the ground, and Beyonce's kicking you with one of her blonics, you know? Hey, Liz, they do with blonics. What do you think? And I think she's still with Jay-Z, because the guy said when they grab him, they go, that's the anthem, get your damn hands up. No? All right, you know the other guy's in prison are going to bust this guy's chops the whole time he's there. Yo, man, I heard you got knocked out by Destiny's Child. Yo, what'd you say when they grab you? Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. We're not allowed to sing it. Well, we really got sued. I had to say it, and it bombed.
It didn't matter how you did it.
Shut your trap. You really think you think you're proprietary over all music, you people, don't you?
Yep. Yes, we are.
Tonight is the 1-year anniversary of Tough Crowd, so we've invited 4 of our regulars. Only one guy's missing, Lonely Patrice, and he's going to pretend he doesn't care. And tonight he's going to be watching the show at home by himself, a little tear, like the little boy that he was back in Boston by himself. Yo, the 4th. Hi, Patrice. Chicken. Happy anniversary, guys. I hope you don't mind. I picked some clips on the shows to show what each of you does that has really bugged me for a year. Greg, the thing that you do that bugs me sometimes is you can be very long-winded, and sometimes you're in the middle of some long joke, and I have to keep the hounds at bay while you finish a 20-minute diatribe for your punchline. Roll the clip, please.
You know what, we're talking about this new anti-Semitism, right? Because that's this new wave, apparently, of anti-Semitism that they're talking about. Now there's apparently these attacks in Brooklyn, and that's where it just seems a little crazy. Because there's not, like, especially in America. Look, I live on the Upper West Side of New York City. It's hard to, you know, the only Jewish suffering I've ever seen is that there's like a long, you know, wait at brunch at Barney Green. But they don't
where he was going.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't have a punchline all set up myself, Susie. Thank you for punchline. And they say the Jews are pushy. Look.
And you kept going. We had to cut it. Now, I know that was not the crystal clear example of it, but what do you expect from the show? Now, listen, Norton, you're next. Norton, what bugs me and bugs everybody here, I'm sure, is your fake intellectual gestures. And it's not even, you're talking about idiocy, but you got your hand like this, and it's like, where do you get that idea of intelligence from 40s movies? Why don't you get a monocle and stroke your chin, stupid? You're a dullard. Ready, roll the clip. I'm talking about fat people are now fighting because they want the American Disabilities Act to apply to them, and it's sickening. You're not disabled if you're fat. You know who's disabled? Whoever is stuck sitting next to you on a plane. That's who's disabled. A long way to go. Now, what about Norton? Let's talk about the fact that he gets an English accent and crosses his legs when he's trying to be intelligent.
That wasn't an English accent.
Not that time, but...
why don't you show an example to the people instead of accusing me?
I want Keith to tell them an example.
I'm going to tell you what bugs me about this jackass. That every one of his setups start with liberal, and it ends with disease. It's like, no matter what the question, what about the Harlem Globetrotters? Goddamn liberals! Monkeypox! What the hell?
First of all,
let them laugh, stupid!
I never commented on the Harlem Globetrotters, you idiot.
Wow. It's like school to me. This whole thing is like school. Like Greg Giraldo, he's the
First
smart
of all,
guy.
how would you know what school is like?
Yes.
How would you know?
People don't have the best attendance record, let's be honest.
Wait a minute, neither do the Italians. You're right there with us.
We're talking about Joe Paterno, Rudy Giuliani.
Who?
Rudy Giuliani.
It's contagious. World Trotters, what the hell?
All right, let's move on to Keith. What do you think? Keith, a lot of us complain about your overacting when you're doing a joke, but that doesn't even bother me as much as I realized studying you this week. It's the gestures don't even match the emotions. So an overactor would be somebody who's angry and they go, ugh. But yet you take it even a step further. It can't be called acting because you'll actually be sad when you're angry, and then like when you try to be quiet and start gesturing your arms, it makes the audience baffled and horrified. Roll the clip, please.
Shoshana Johnson was the talk of the week for a half hour. They were like, we're going to save Shoshana Johnson. Then about a minute later, it's like, beat it, black bitch. Jessica's missing.
Now, were you angry or happy? Nobody knows. How can anyone tell you?
I'll tell you what it was. First of all, it was
like
about Shoshana Johnson, how that she got a little bit of media attention. I mean, she got a lot of media attention until the white girl showed up. Once the...
It's like watching a tie boat tape.
All right, we'll be right back after this commercial for Nick DiPaolo. We're back doing our analysis. Now we're up to Nick DiPaolo. Nick, first of all, you've hollered or berated every member of the staff because you're kind of a comic genius. They've let you get away with it. No one likes you. They admire you and respect you. They hate you guts because you yell at everybody. Now, wait a minute. Yeah. I'm your only friend in show business. You have a couple of friends that are cops because they're the only ones that can be angry enough to hang out with you. And even they've come to me on the side and said, you know, Nick's getting a little angry. When cops think you're angry, you're very angry. And even though I'm your only friend in show business, you'll turn on me in a dime, like the other night when you called me Slappy, which you don't have on tape, and like this little maneuver.
Oh, Jesus.
Average Joe wrapped up last night.
Oh, who gives a shit?
I know you love that. They just don't care. They don't care. There's me trying to pretend I'm not fuming. Vic, what the hell's your problem? Don't you think at least...
Well, it's called Tough Crowd, and we're talking about Average Joe.
That was very succinct. I didn't like it.
There's no sandwiches in the green room anymore.
Right?
I'm watching cameraman eat jumbo shrimp. I'm eating celery. I mean, what the is going on? Seriously. I'm the only one that speaks up, so yeah, I end up with the ass reputation, but they're all complaining too.
I know they are. Because nobody seems to understand what goes into making a show. Because you comedians...
What, mayonnaise and bread? Jesus.
I understand the mentality of you self-obsessed dummies. I understand what happens. You swagger in, we're working around the clock trying to think of topics, trying to keep a daily show topic fresh, which is not easy, trying to keep the conversations going, all these guests coming in and out. You basically come in and start belly aching. You know, you're looking to get stabbed by one of the staff members. I'm just going to tell you. I don't... Listen. The bottom line is this. Nick complains the most. Right out loud. And if you admire the fact that you... That's right. Somehow you think you're the freedom fighter for these dickheads. I speak up, they don't speak. They don't speak because it's in bad taste and rude to speak up when everyone's busting their balls.
Well, you know... What's rude and bad taste is paying us $800 an episode. That's rude and bad taste.
That's good money.
It's good money. What is this?
How the hell are we supposed to get laid now?
Yeah. What is this? You know, like that's what's keeping you from getting laid.
This is what I want to know. You're only getting 800?
Yes, Jimmy.
Well, now what you would do? Trash Jim for something?
That was a fake figure, by the way.
Yeah, I know it was. It was not probably. But
no, it was.
No, don't say probably like you didn't know. I don't know.
You wrote the check. Shut up.
I figure we all get the same, more or less. I don't know. Now, Giraldo, you seemed a little shocked that you're considered the media darling of this crew. And even these two dummies were shocked. They think they're popular. Why?
Well, Keith is probably because Keith knows he's pretty popular with the gay crowd.
Because of the well-coiffed beard.
No, because of the neatly trimmed beard and the obvious gay bashing on the show, because gay guys have all been.
He doesn't like gays.
I don't gay bash. I'm telling you something. I'm not for gay marriage because I'm not for gay marriage. It's not because I'm gay bash.
He's not gay bashing. He doesn't like, you know.
No, but he passionately voices distaste for gays, and gay guys like that. They're self-hating, so they're drawn to you.
I don't.
I think a lot of gay guys want you to go over and spank them and beat them.
No, they don't. They don't like me. Gay guys don't like me. White women don't like me.
No one likes you.
All right, no one likes me. But I'm telling you, it's not about the gay thing. I don't like when people say that. I'm not against gay people.
I know.
I don't think they should be married.
I think your pants prove that.
Wow. Go ahead, Nick. Do your thing. Call them a bunch of NYU f***s.
I thought they went to college.
Listen, the bottom line is all your character flaws that I've shown on this show all exist, and I want them changed now. And Patrice, and I know everyone resents me for spoiling fat Patrice and letting him talk endlessly for the whole show.
What I don't like about that fat idiot is his, and I love him, I do love him, but what I don't like about him is his Act 4, how he laughs all the way through.
Oh, he's awful. And he makes that face like he's making it up as he goes along. You're not improvising, fat boy. It's written down. We'll be right back. Started doing the show a year ago, right, you bastards?
Yeah.
Now, you guys are Patrice. Let's talk about the last year. How's the show? What has it done to change your life? It's gotten me laid a lot. Has it gotten you laid a lot, Jim? It has gotten me laid. This really cute girl came up to me one night and she's like, "You're on that Comedy Central show, Tough Crowd. What's your name again?" So I said Greg Giraldo and raped her.
I like how you substituted her for him in that whole story.
How would you guys describe the show to somebody who's never seen it?
I'd say, listen, Mr. and Mrs. Quinn. Your son's got a hell of a show there. You should tune in.
I would describe the show, I would say that it's kind of like watching The Accused, except Jodie Foster got more laughs on the pinball machine than most women get on this show.
Wow, that's 2 rape jokes. That's 2 in one segment. That wasn't a rape joke.
No, that was a woman comedy joke.
Yeah, it was a woman bashing
Women
joke.
do seem like they have a little harder time getting in. Do you think it's because of the nature of the show? Like,
Well, you know, but you know what? Why don't they should have a good time the way you feed us on the show? Like those snacks. I thought it was supposed to be like a tough crowd show. You feed us chocolate-covered strawberries and all that garbage. Yeah. You feed us like we're menstruating, for Christ's sake. How about some beer, some booze?
I do. I have a sweet tooth. I can't help it.
It's surprising to me that a lot of the black people that I talk to actually like Nick Paolo.
Yeah.
That's surprising to me.
See that? I reach out to people.
That's right. Has Tough Crowd made you a better comedian?
Yes, I tape it and use other people's bits when I go on the road.
It gives you confidence. Like it actually, I was started this thing recently where I do this bit on airline food, and
airline food.
Yeah, no, thanks for.
You do peanuts too, you jackass.
Are you being ironic? Would you say you do a fat person at the airline seat next to you, jackass? No, I happen to be saying. Shut up! I'm funny. Now listen, it was funny, but I was doing sarcastic, and stupid took me literally, just like your joke.
You do an airline joke. What are you talking about?
No, I
Here
don't.
we go with an injustice.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
You do an airline joke.
No, I don't. Sit down, Al Jolson. I don't. Does he do an airline joke?
Yes.
What is it?
It stunk so bad I forgot.
I'm sure it has something to do with an airline filled with AIDS. And something to do with that. Imagine Elizabeth Taylor, she should be hitting the head with a 747 full of Ebola.
I got it. Not only do you do an airline joke, but it's an airline joke with a crying baby.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong hat.
Okay. What's the one thing you would change about the show if you could?
I know.
The ratings.
He's right.
That would help.
He's right.
The name of it, first of all. I hate the name of it.
Really? Why, fella?
Tough crowd. When people hear crowd in comedy, they think of that crowd. They're not thinking of us as the type. It's ambiguous. So I think we should change it.
Okay.
There's always 5 people on the show. This is what we should call it.
What?
This. Quinn Tuplets.
We'll be right back.